It's time to talk transfers on Soccer Bites. Lots of transfers in this January transfer window. Some teams cashed in, some teams, went to the market, some teams decided, hey, let's leave January, we can't get anything. But of course in China, they are making statements and players are joining the Chinese Super League. And one of such players is Odion Ighalo, Nigeria's own striker. £20 million move, Akin. This is a move that he delayed from last season. He could have bagged 38 million, or of course it should have been more expensive than this. Well, eventually scoring 2 goals, this season and still being bought for 20 million. It's not a bad idea, right?
It's not a bad idea at all, and I think it's a good move for him. It's a good move for Watford as well. The way I like to answer this kind of question is, if he was my brother, what am I going to tell him? And I will say, go to China.
Go take the money.
He's not had a great season. He's had last season was much better, like you rightly said. He's fallen down the pecking order. So you wonder why is he going to be on the bench in Watford? If he's on the bench on Chelsea, if he's on the bench on Manchester United, you'll say those teams, they've got a lot of matches to be played all season. They've got the Champions League, they've got the League, they've got the FA, they've got the League Cup. Lots of football to be played, so he's definitely going to get his chance. But Watford, falling down the pecking order, I'm not too sure he's going to get much chance. And China comes knocking with a good offer on the table. I think it makes a lot of sense to take it. Good for everybody.
So we'll probably expect that no other team came knocking. Look at Odion, the player, and how he's fared. I mentioned he scored only 2 goals this season.
Yeah.
And, as against last season. Look at him going to China right now. Do you think that the player himself has really dipped in form? Does he still have anything or much to offer?
I don't really think going to China means you've dipped in form. Yes, he's had a rough patch this season, but that doesn't take anything away from his ability. He's a very good player, a decent goal scorer. But the situation at the moment is that what's good for him, what's good for his career, what's good for Watford, what's good for everybody involved. He's not playing at Watford. You can't be languishing on the bench on Watford. Like I said, if you're languishing on the bench in Manchester United or so, that's much better. But at Watford, no. And the money comes in. I think it makes a lot of sense to take it. So it's no reflection of the kind of player he is. It's just the situation at hand now, and that was the best move. That's the best move he could take now.
Do you think that Odion has experienced a dip in form?
Definitely, because he's not scoring like he's scoring. You measure a striker by the number of goals they score. That's what they feed on. When they score, they get more confident. When they don't score, they lose confidence. It might not really be form. It might be a question of confidence. I think he's lacking a bit of confidence. I think he's going to be confident when he goes to China.
He went all guns blazing, last season. Scored goals. Started the first half of the season, scored 10 goals. He was at some point number 2 on the goal scorer chart.
Yeah.
And then the later part of last season, he stopped scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So the confidence, why is he lacking confidence? Where did this come from?
Well, only him can tell, but players go through rough patches, especially strikers. And like I said, you measure them by the number of goals that they score. And the goals are not coming in. If you are not like a big money move that that the manager is saying you want to back at all costs to make sure that even if you go 15 games that a goal, we know that the goals will still come. But it's not that kind of player. It's just a pretty decent player. So if he's not delivering regularly for Watford, you get to fall down the pecking order, and that's exactly what happened.
Do you still think that Odion, we really should be our lethal striker or our top 9 in the national team?
Well, the Super Eagles I'm seeing is the Super Eagles of new exciting players coming through. There's no guarantee that anyone is going to hold a shutdown. Kelechi Iheanacho has been our main striker for some games, like the past 6-7 games or thereabout, and he hasn't done badly at all. There's going to be a lot of chances for everybody. The manager is building a fresh team with the exciting talents coming up. We talked about Ademola Lookman.
Yeah,
He's also coming through the ranks. So lots of players are coming through the ranks, and everybody is going to get their chances. Because he's going to China doesn't mean he's not going to get a chance with the Super Eagles again. I know he's still going to get his chance, most definitely.
All right, Odion Ighalo, we wish you all the best. And we heard something about Aziza that eventually it seems like she would make that move to China. Don't forget, of course, the transfer window is still open. So if that happens, would it shock you, being, of course, you know, a Nairabet ambassador?
No, it's not going to shock me. I want the best for her, definitely, as a Nigerian, as an ambassador, and as a sister. I would definitely want the best for
Arsenal to China.
Well, no one knows what female football is in China. We got to know what that is about. We got to know. Because we know Arsenal in Nigeria doesn't mean that's where the best female football has been played in the world. At least we look at the world, like the world international football for ladies. It's not like teams from England or Europe are the best when it comes to women's football. We're just looking at it from the male side. We know Arsenal, so we automatically believe Arsenal ladies. Fine, Arsenal ladies is doing well in England, but female football in English football, what's great about it? We don't know. We're just looking at it from the eyes of, we know Arsenal, we know all these people, all these other teams. So there's nothing special about leaving them.
They still have the endorsements, the money. Of course, there is money in English women's football. So
and there's money in Chinese women's football, I'm sure.
So yeah, go get the money, as is that, and maybe come back to Europe later.
Well, she can come back to Europe, and she might not come back to Europe. But life doesn't end in Europe. That's what I mean.
And it shouldn't affect her national team.
It's not going to, because before she moved to England, she was already in the national team. So there's nothing still stopping her now.
All right, so the Chinese, more Nigerians trooping to China. Don't forget, Mikel is also in China, the national team captain. Wish our Nigerian players all the best in China.